What is going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So as things are getting very exciting for this game, we've got some real interesting things happened. Okay, that's what's happened, some real interesting things. But hey, is it possible at all that we can smash 9 likes and then just leave it at 9 likes? Also, you see that subscribe button below. When you click it, it will say you are subscribed, and that is a nice thing. But all jokes aside, I hope you guys are really enjoying the content, and what you're seeing in the background right now, I just had to share. This video is literally just crazy. So I guess we can call it a stunt of some kind that someone pulled off in the mythical lands of Reddit, and they're playing as Miss Marvel, and basically, as you see, they grab an enemy and then literally throw them into a rocket that was shot at them. Now, you can't say that was not cool. The reason I wanted to point that out is because for me, this isn't really a character that I guess you could say careful in some sort of perspective. I don't really play as Kamala Khan, but that being said, this just shows off like the greatness when it comes down into combat. And although this was literally just one of those lucky situations, it does look really cool. But kicking it off with some pretty big news, alright? The Avengers is #1 in the UK in terms of sales for the standard edition, and then #6 for the deluxe edition. So this is just crazy. Now, according to the sources, since the beta, the pre-order sales basically just spiked, which I think is super cool. Now, getting into the more juicy information, I guess we could say, the beta is back up tomorrow, okay? But this time, of course, it's for everyone, so if you haven't pre-ordered the game on your Xbox or your PC, you can still go ahead and play tomorrow, as well as all the people on PlayStation again as well. Now, if you already had it downloaded since like last week or the week before, we got another update. Now, if you are on the Xbox, this update is huge. Now, this update is basically called Update 1.05, and for me on the PlayStation 4, it was just over, I think top of my head, like 102 megabytes, but for some people on the Xbox, as you see on screen right now, this is huge. Like, we're talking 1.43 gigabytes huge, which is just crazy. Now, this was initially posted on my Reddit Discord, No, my Discord channel. I mean, if you're not joined that, by the way, check that out in the description below, but this was posted there yesterday. And then, interestingly enough, over on Reddit, there's been a few more posts regarding the size of their update for the Xbox. Now, I find it crazy because, like I said, on the PlayStation, it's literally just over 100 megabytes, and when you're talking gigabytes, that is a very huge update. Now, going into the patch notes, I do have it for the PlayStation 4 anyway, which of course was a much smaller one, and we got some things for the characters as well. So I want to kick it off with the general things that it says, and what it says is that there's actually 2 parts to this. So you got beta update 1.40, and then you got update 1.50. So kicking it off with the general one, which is the beta update 1.40, it says, as you can see, added an option in settings to adjust camera shake sensitivity, which is really good. I mean, that was a big thing. Then we got decreased amount of motion blur during sprint and flight. Multiple improvements and optimizations made to matchmaking, which by far, I mean by a long shot, was a big problem, easily without a single doubt, so I'm glad they have fixed that. Then we got changed default settings to wide combat camera distance, heavy targeting assistance, and matchmaking disabled. Improvement to vaulting, fixed several reported crashes, fixed issues with multiple superheroes spawning, and decreased delay of loot drops alongside save game optimization. And then going on to the beta update 1.50, it says fixed rare issue of players losing certain gear, additional matchmaking improvements, rear crash fixes, move to enable matchmaking prompt to occur after the war table is unlocked, and then added a link to the first party store to main menu. And then for the Steam, of course just the PC in general, it says we'll be posting Steam patch notes separately, so keep an eye out. So I guess that was a double update for the PlayStation and Xbox, but still, Xbox was still a lot bigger. But a second thing that I want to mention actually as well, that I completely forgot almost, despite this video actually meant to be resolving around that, is that according to a few people again over on my Discord, the Spider-Man Easter egg that was initially found in the first week of the beta on the PlayStation 4, apparently that Easter egg has now been removed. So the Spider-Man Easter egg has been removed. It's some crazy stuff. It is some crazy stuff, so that's something we're going to have to check out tomorrow, but as it stands, that, according to multiple sources, was actually removed. There's an interesting thing that someone again did share on Reddit that I thought is pretty worth just sharing with you guys, and it's that they saw this screenshot from the first war table, and it's basically just to remind everyone that we are in fact capable of earning outfits outside the marketplace, and you basically are just at that risk of them being random. So it seems like the marketplace is where you go if you want to get specific outfits and are willing to pay. So I thought that's just a pretty good little fact just to throw in this video. Now, one final thing that I wanted to address, of course in yesterday's video we were talking about the bad news in the sense of how these guys posted a message in the private Discord channel and then removed it, which is basically just saying in some sort of perspective that everyone that hacked their way through the game, more aiming towards the PC users and were able to play as Thor and Captain America, they're basically gonna start investigating and taking rightful actions in order so everyone can have a sort of fair gameplay experience. Now, since then, some interesting things have happened with that as well. So there was another video on the PC that was a really good video that just showed Captain America gameplay, and that has now been taken down. Now, when I say taken down, according to a few sources that I've got, they did actually state that the video was made private, but also I haven't seen any other videos come up. Now, a lot of people have been speculating that other videos that were uploaded were actually taken down as in like a matter of minutes. So in some sort of perspective, it does actually mean that whether or not we state this is real or not, something is actually taking place. Now, at this moment in time, I don't know if this is, I guess people, I don't know if they're just doing it because of the news spreading without any sort of solid evidence, so they could just purely be doing it out of fear. With the initial video of Captain America being taken down or put on private, again, they could have reached out to that person, or that person could have just simply put it on private, trying to avoid the risk of their account being banned, as don't forget that is what the consequences were going to be. Now, we're going to see what happens this weekend, but I guess, like I said in yesterday's video as well, it really doesn't matter because the game is releasing after next week. So if you are going to get more hacks this weekend, I know it does suck for the majority of people, but I guess if people are just doing it on their own will and they're not actually sharing tutorials and so forth, then I just think personally it would be pretty pointless to go ahead and do something like that. But nonetheless, I know a lot of you guys have your opinions on that, and again, I completely agree with all of you guys. Hacking for a game in general, it's just not really a cool thing to do, especially before its release. But that being said, if you have an Xbox, if you have a PlayStation 4, if you have a PC, and you've already had this game downloaded, let me know what the size of the update was for you. I just find it really strange that it was such a big update for Xbox users, because if it's the case, I mean, would it be removing something, would it not? So that's also one thing. But guys, that's going to wrap up this video. I'll see you in the next one. Till then, subscribe for more awesome content, and until the next one, adios amigos.